Racism, poverty, traffic, pollution. In the world, there are so many countries with problems. It seems like every country and every person is filled with problems. So, who has the solutions? To answer that question, I decided to put my pride aside and go learn from a country that has the same problems as all of us, but has managed to find solutions. Because this is the incredible story of the almost perfect country of Singapore! In Singapore, many races live. The Indians, the Malay, Chinese, and Eurasians. And because people of different races might disagree and hate each other, Singapore forced all of them to live together in buildings on top of each other, next to each other. So instead of enemies, they are neighbors. And because of this, Singapore built a racial harmony that many countries don't have. Traffic. Many countries also suffer from traffic. It's the worst. In Singapore, they had traffic until they fixed it. In Singapore, they limited the number of cars on the road. The number of cars total in the entire country cannot increase. Many people, instead of cars, take public transportation, and very few people are stuck in traffic. Pollution is another environmental problem. Landfills look and smell disgusting in many countries, but in Singapore, they do not. Because they take their trash, they burn it, filter out the smoke, collect the ashes, and dump them underwater in a man-made island. Instead of this, the island looks like this. Their trash island is so clean, it looks like a resort. Another problem is fresh water. So much of it is wasted. But not in Singapore. These guys built an entire system that takes their poo and pee water, you know, this, and turns into clean water that humans can drink. And when you drink water that used to be poo, you realize water should never ever be wasted again. When I saw the way they build and do things, from water systems to airports to buildings to gardens, I was amazed. Because all of the problems above, they solved in 53 years since they gained independence. And you didn't hear that from me. You heard it from the Prime Minister himself.
Hi, I'm the Prime Minister. This is what we have been building in Singapore for 53 years, and we'll be building it for many more years to come.
Don't get me wrong. Singapore still has a lot of problems with no solutions that I know of. They too suffer from inequality, high prices, and tight security. Many elderly people still can't afford to retire. Many imported foreign workers are very low paid, and the government can be too restrictive. Even gum is illegal. Singapore has many problems, but unlike many, they are trying to fix them. That's why their passport is the strongest, their seaport is the second busiest, water is the cleanest, airport is the greatest, landfills are the prettiest, and people are the friendliest. I arrived in Singapore saying, I hate Singapore! Because I was jealous. But now I'm leaving Singapore saying I love Singapore because there's a lot we can learn from them. If they can solve so many problems in only 53 years, then why can't we?
we're glad to welcome you back. Did you watch that with us, Dave?
Yes, I did. That's the video of how Singapore conquered their challenges to become one of the first world nations. We could remember that as at 1960, Singapore was still at the same level economically with Nigeria. In fact, we were better than them because Singapore as a city, as a country, do not have any natural resources at their disposal. Singapore imports basic water usage. Water for drinking is imported.
Import virtually everything,
and
including drinking water.
In less than 53 years, they were able to turn that nation from a third world to a first world destination where people travel for more than 21 hours from Nigeria just to be there. And then, looking at it, we are going to look at solving Nigeria's solutions to solving Nigeria's problems now. We want to look at this, just like the video said, if Singapore could do that in 53 years, then we can. So on this part of the program, we want to ask you, what are the proactive ways you think Nigeria could become better? What are the proactive ways you think we can solve Nigeria's problem? How do we become like Singapore? Maybe,
or better than Singapore.
Or better than Singapore in a very short while. How would we set a better precedent for our children who are coming up, for our unborn children, for our own future as well? I'm still a young person, so I still have a future.
I'm still a young person.
So how do we do this? Call us in or with the numbers on your screen. We'll be chatting a solution for Nigeria this morning.
All right. And just like you have said, the number is on the screen. And let's begin with ourselves. What do you suggest that we do? Do we start with converting waste to wealth that has been, been preaching all this while?
Usually I would say that some of those are in precedence in Anambra. Last May or July, the governor was in Austria to fashion out ways to convert waste to wealth. And there's one significant thing about what the governor did when he was coming in for his second term. He started a move to develop a 50-year plan. When you have such a long-term plan for a city, a country, you begin to find out that you have where you want to be in the next 10 years. So I think it's a positive one. But coming to what I will do, because what we want to do here is what you will do to bring solution, not just what the government will do. Government can give air, government can blow and help these things become better. Like there's a maximum I normally use.
People are already calling to tell you what the plans they have. Okay, hello.
Hello.
Hello, is anybody there?
Hello. Okay, call us back.
Oh, they might find you. Kedi find get mona we find Singapore. We bualia Singapore. We see from Ebefano where no kwasaze Ebefa chole no Ebefano buadro fama because Sandy will say katobo na be na droge mo ge no galia. Kai mana ba so ikwanye ifi chelo na ya ga ime ndi banya makalia Singapore.
And, okay, we have a caller. Hello.
John Paul. Yes,
okay, John Paul again. All right.
This is John Paul. Yes, solution to solving Nigerian's problem. There are a lot of things to be done for this Nigeria to be moved forward. One, we start from our leaders, we start from the binding force in the Nigerian constitution.
Okay.
We need to be holistic. We need to be worded. We need to have a new constitution whereby what we do will be determined by what our constitution is telling us.
Okay.
That is number one. Number two is that people in the governance, people in the government, should see it as a point of duty to do what they preach, to be an example for others to follow. Because there's never a time you will have money in your bank and you're spending it, while the other person is also having the same money with you, is not sharing from that money, and you're spending it all alone and fighting in time of nobody. Therefore, the government should create a level environment. One, power should be there. The technocrats should be encouraged. And the democrats should be encouraged. And the individual people who go out of this country to find the ideas of other countries coming in should be encouraged too.
All right. All right, John Paul. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you
was
very much.
elaborate from John
Thank
Paul.
you. Let others come in. Thank you. Yes. First of all, like John Paul says, starts with his constitution.
No reform.
Because I said that when the foundation of any building is strong, that building is bound to collapse. Okay. So if the constitution of Nigeria does not allow or give room for proper development of the nation, well, it simply means that it needs to be looked at. Perhaps that's what John Paul is saying. We are still looking at Nigeria where the Makali to the Keta, Makali Singapore in a good environment. We started talking about our West.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling us from? Okay, go on.
Hello.
Hello, Ganiru.
Sorry about that. Igwanya fagi, igwanya bisi akpo.
Batunata TV.
Igbatu TV gi, igwanya feature igwanya. I know can mobile time to stay. Okay.
And you know, just like I was saying when we started, one spectacular thing about giving solutions to our society is that this is a general task. He's mentioned constitutional reform and what the government could do. We as ordinary citizens of this country can also do the right thing. If I do the right thing, you do the right thing, someone there does the right thing, another person does the right thing, we will safeguard.
We are good to go.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, by the time I just back.
Okay. You'll be brief
Yes,
now.
okay,
I
you
think
from home ago.
all right.
Yes. What you have this morning is very fantastic.
Okay.
We first of all need to look at the coming together of the people called Nigerians.
Okay.
The amalgamation. That is the very fundamental issue that is holding Nigeria ransom up to this moment.
Okay.
Are we truly one? Do we have common cultural heritage? If the answer is no, then we resort to regional government where people that have the same cultural heritage will govern themselves.
Okay.
You talk of confederation, the type of government, so that people will use what they have in their side to develop their side, and not what we are practicing today. Then again, nepotism, tribalism, and favoritism is the problem we have today, not our constitution. Without federal character in our constitution.
We are looking at solutions. Barrister Angansi, we are looking at solutions and not problems. Barrister Angansi, we are looking at solutions. What do we do? What do we do? Not what we have not done well. Thank you very much for those of you that are just about to call. Please give us a solution. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome. Konye can on a line.
Number one. Number two, those laws, the environmental laws, industrial laws, those laws need to be revisited in the sense that they will get a more every big man will come them. Upcoming industrialists, very encouraged. There should be competition, should be active change in terms of the way we do things, our narrative, in terms of in this context. How can we make you now? I think the solution to becoming to be like Singapore. I'm not going to make you now.
Okay. All right, Paul.
Thank
All right,
you very
John
much,
Paul.
Paul.
Thank you, John Paul. Kandi ọzọ nwee ike batakwa daalụ.
Yes.
Daalụ biko.
Hello.
Onye kwuo selọnụ ka nwee ike nabatakwa ndị ọzọ.
Barrister, please, let's take other callers. Please, we actually want to open the whole phone line to every of our viewers. Go ahead, ladies and Hello.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, the message is Uche from Arauco.
Okay,
Uche, welcome.
Uche, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's on the room, I'm
All right.
Dalo.
You want to see that also one section of people that they are in Nigeria. And it has been the same with that time.
Okay.
So, if you have not heard Nigerian position, can you know from this was better it is.
So how do we change it? How do we bring that change?
What's the Kenya to do as a Kapachi point? Okay.
All right.
They have not taken up the economic plan.
Oh, the
And
man.
our president that are coming over again now. I'm not going to continue.
Sunday Obasanjo Achigo. Obasanjo is from the west, while Jonathan is from the south. So
Is it actually about the tribe of the person that rule that bring that solution?
tribalism, you said. Okay, man, all problem can I point out. I want to choose solution. If I get me, Okay, thank you very much, Dalo, a friend from Orupu. Thank you. Solutions to solving Nigeria's numerous problems. I'm going to template. Because the problem is so much.
Yes.
Political, economical, socially, and otherwise. I snatcho. Kaidi Kobuda, you watch it and the Singapore. Kai Makaliafa. Kedify game. Hello.
Hello. People,
Okay.
call us back. So
Yes, Dave. Are you still in the past? Maybe don't give waste to wealth. Move around this nation. You keep wondering what's happening to us. Garbage is everywhere.
Everywhere.
I looked at Singapore. We made this documentary.
Maybe they've been able to manage it. We don't know how they did it, but probably they will still have, but maybe it's at minimal compared to what we have here. And I think basically there was, when you mentioned this, I remembered an experience I had when I interviewed a young person that uses waste to do artworks. And you know, with the kind of artwork he does, he pulls out several waste out of the society. And you know, with that, I think he's promising. He actually didn't wait for the government to do that.
To do
to
that.
come in.
Well, I
Before
wanted
he
to
brought
ask
that.
myself, somebody's there, but let's take it and then.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Heck, I want to why. Hello. Can I find an ABC boy?
Esther calling from Oka.
Okay, Esther, welcome.
This is a solution to solving Nigerian problems. This is not a problem of us as individuals.
Okay.
Let's go to the community.
Okay.
Before going to the government, I hear people talking about government.
Okay.
Often I don't say by Kuma. I say something like in terms of government. But when the environmental cleanup, people go inside their homes and they say it's for government.
Oh, dear.
Another one is that I don't know why she got the why of my in communities. I mean, it's because the man, the government at that shop, man. I want to put the show why of my side of our government.
Oh, the ma, Dalo.
Dalo, sir.
You don't know why of my government. There's a near I can have enough,
Dalo, Esibo, mother. Thank you. All right, thank you. Mana, Ezio, Pukande, Wakagadi, a little bit disappointed. MM expect no to a wine up one. If I got wine, but if I get Nigeria the mabona, I got just some working like a wine. Let's produce our female presidents in this country. Those things that American in the all independence.
Are you sure that look at our cameraman looking at you? Hello.
No, that's true, but it's true.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Can I begin every step? Why?
Kingsley from Abakaliki.
Wow.
From
that's
Abakaliki, Kingsley, you're welcome.
Please, I believe we should call the president of Singapore, have a sit down with them, and
Okay.
just, discuss things out.
To see how he did
And get
it.
their own idea of how they work and how they succeeded.
Okay.
How they did it.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. If you na governor the commissioner assigned to various countries, able to environment to good environment.
Yes.
You got a replicate at this place. We'd like to thank you because that's where we're doing the cut on this segment. Thank you very much for your contributions, your managers of situations, and
Yes,
then you
it's
have
been-
really
it's been
proven
lively.
it. Thank you. Thank you. David.
It's been an exciting moment this morning, looking at several issues that touch our lives when we started from the newspaper to the discussion segment on living a life of charity, to this extent where we talked about solutions to solving Nigeria's problem.
And we still have any other thing coming. It will still come your way.
Yes, and it's
We're
been a
ready
great
today.
one, yes.
Thank you. My name is Sijama, and I've been around with Dave.
Yeah. David Okwasili from here.
Thank you.